I'm Simon from Cycle Magic. We're a not-for-profit organisation in Leicester, and we promote cycling basically, but also environmental aspects of transport. So we just help people get around in a more sustainable way. We train people, we provide bikes for them. We do a lot of promotional type of work all around the country, just getting more and more people on bikes. Hybrid car and an all-electric car is that the hybrid will also have a normal engine in it as well, so it can do long distances, you can travel at motorway speeds using the engine, and then it can switch to the electric engine in town or when it's travelling slowly, or to help it get going. Whereas an all-electric car, at the moment, mostly they tend to be designed as kind of town cars with a short range and a short distance, and they're quite small, so they kind of fit into parking spaces easily and reduce congestion. That's the main difference between them. Having said that, the electric cars now are being developed a lot more, so they're going to be doing a much bigger range. You know, it'll be more comparable to a normal car in its performance, but they're not quite ready yet. They're sort of just about to come onto the market fairly soon, sometimes. Wheels it is a mass-produced vehicle. I mean, I'm not quite sure how many have been made. I know there's at least 150, I think, in use privately in London, so it's, you know, it has created a market. Its advantage in somewhere like London is that it doesn't pay congestion charge, there's no road tax on it, insurance is very cheap, it gets free parking in quite a few places, and obviously the actual cost of running it are very, very low as well. They're like a penny a mile. I've seen them in use in London, you know, just when I've been in London I've seen them driving around, so you will see them. Obviously they're better suited to big cities, certainly in London because of the congestion charge. They've got a particular advantage, so they don't pay congestion charge. I think they're about £6,000 from memory. There are a few different ones available, so it's worth doing your research. There's more than one available now, and also some of the large manufacturers, I think Renault, possibly, are actually going to have an electric vehicle just as part of their standard range, so there's more and more of these types of things becoming available now. If you're going to run one of these on solar power, normally they plug into the household electricity to charge up, so the best option from an environmental point of view is to use a green energy tariff at home for all of your electricity, so you're using renewable sources for electricity. Your car is then effectively virtually pollution free in its use because it's getting its electricity from a renewable source. If you're going to power it off solar power, you need some photovoltaic panels, and again, if you're going to do that, you might as well put them on the roof of your house and generate electricity for your house as well. So the easiest way to do it is probably not to have a separate set of panels just for the car, but to go the whole way and actually run your house off it. The green energy tariff is where your energy supplier, your domestic energy supplier, guarantees that the amount of energy that you're using from them is being sourced from a renewable source like wind farms or solar power or possibly hydroelectric power. And if they've got that guarantee, then they have to either invest in that or they have to buy it in, so it creates a demand for that type of energy, which makes it much easier for companies to invest in producing that energy because they know they've got a market for it. Solar power, you can have solar water heating, which is relatively, it's not that expensive and it's relatively easy to install. There's plenty of people that do that. Solar electricity, that's a little bit more complex technically. It's probably going to cost you between £4,000 and £7,000 to have it installed, but you can get payment for the electricity that you generate, and it's at quite an increased rate, so you can actually save a lot of money that way. I reckon the payback on that is about 8 to 10 years. Wind turbines, again, there aren't that many houses that are going to be able to put a wind turbine on top of their own house. You've got to be in just the right location, and there's quite a lot of planning rules involved. So again, if you can't get solar panels on your roof or a wind turbine on your roof, the next best thing is to switch over to a green energy tariff for your domestic electricity.
My name is Chris Giddings, company Solar Energy Alliance. We are invited here by the Green Roadshow, an event that travels around various cities promoting renewable energy and showing that solar power can be fun, illustrating to children and the like. We as a company are part of the part of the Green Roadshow. We are installers and suppliers of solar electric and wind equipment. I've been involved in this for 25 years. And I've been saying for the last 25 years that this is the year that solar power is going to take off. This is the year that solar power is going to take off. Why? Because of the feed-in tariffs. The feed-in tariffs will pay our customers 41 pence for every kilowatt hour of energy they generate. For every unit of electricity they generate from solar power, they'll get paid 41 pence. They will get to use that energy themselves as well. And so this is suddenly a financial incentive. Over the last 25 years I've been talking about global warming, climate change and pollution. Suddenly we're now starting to not talk about green issues, although they are vitally important. What we're now talking about is pound notes, part of the retirement plan. Renewable energy is now inflation-proof energy. Suddenly the man who listens, who thinks with a wallet is listening. And there are a lot more people out there that think with a wallet than there are that think with the conscience. Now, of course, I describe that in a very black and white term. We are, of course, a mixture of the two. We're all concerned about rising energy costs, and we're also all concerned about our grandchildren's future in varying mix. Another reporter, is renewable energy only for the rich? Now, a lot of my customers, I expect the gates to open on their own, I expect swimming pool on the left, tennis court on the right, Mercedes SLK in the double garage. Now, those sort of people are obviously wealthy, but my comment to the reporter was, 15 years ago, mobile phones were only for the rich. And so, they were as big as a brick, they cost £1,500. Now, market trends of mass production have brought those economy of scales to a point where they give them away to children. So, that we see in a mere 15 years we've moved from £1,500 to virtually zero. The same market trends apply with renewable energy. The panel that cost £800 last year costs £600 this year. It's still very expensive, but the more they make, the cheaper it'll get. The cheaper it gets, the greater the public uptake. It's a downward price spiral that Henry Ford described as every time he could double production, he could reduce price by 30%. We're now seeing that coming into this industry. The feed-in tariff is designed to help stimulate that. The feed-in tariff is designed to promote people's uptake of that, which will stimulate mass production, which will bring it down to an affordable level, so that hopefully in 15 years' time we'll see the same equation that applied to mobile phones applying to this industry. But also the fact that it's moved from £800 last year to £600 this year indicates that we've already seen a 25% reduction in the cost of the panels that we're supplying. So very, very quick, rapid uptake. Globally as well, we see China now challenging the German dominance in this industry, and China is also building new megawatt wind farms daily,